And well, so it's similar for me.
So another
for you.
Yeah, another lesson. You look at Darby, right? I mean, he missed one opportunity, but then he took another opportunity and ran with it.
That's exactly
right. So
right. He didn't quit in the end. He learned from it.
Well, his ultimate goal, right, to become a wealthy person, he didn't quit from that.
Right.
He changed the game plan when he realized that maybe he missed one opportunity, but it wasn't that. Just because you miss one opportunity doesn't mean it's the only opportunity. Right. There's always another opportunity. You just have to keep your eyes and ears open to what might be coming. That's kind of...
Hello, Steve, and I guess I can say good evening, Steve.
It is evening.
Yeah, I mean, we are out... the normal kitchen atmosphere was not available today, so we're out here with a beautiful, beautiful plant. I don't know if you can see that, but it's one of those succulents. That's what it's called. Really an incredible plant here. But welcome to the Steve and Steve Show.
Yeah, welcome. If this is the first time you're discovering us, do us a big favor and hit that subscribe button and like, share, comment, and tell your friends about us.
Family, all acquaintances, anybody you know.
So Steve,
yeah,
tonight, or on this episode, it was your topic.
This is my topic, and I'm going to change it on you.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to change it on him, because I'm going to do this one. So the topic is 3 feet from gold.
3 feet from gold.
3 feet from gold.
So where did you get the inspiration of this?
Well, so this is a story that's been told in different places, but certainly in Think and Grow Rich
by Napoleon
Hill. He tells this story, and I'll give a quick synopsis of it. I'll probably get it not exactly right, but you can correct me on it if I'm not. So there's this gentleman during the 1849 gold rush in San Francisco. He was one of the very early people that came to the gold rush, right?
Yeah.
His name wasn't Darby, was it? That's
Darby.
Yeah, so I can't remember the name, I'm sorry, of the gentleman who found this, but he was a younger gentleman who thought, you know what, there's gold up there in San Francisco, and I'm going to get up there as soon as possible. I'm going to go start looking. And he did. He went out there and started looking. He found a small vein of gold, and he started digging. He got some more people, gathered them in, brought them over there. Not a lot of people, and they were going to find this. They started digging for quite some time, and were going through, and the vein just kind of dried up and went away.
Right.
And he did it for a few more weeks, maybe days, weeks, and finally he said, "Okay, this is we're missed. It's not here." So he came back in and brought the little bit of gold that he did find into a gentleman that was going to give him some money for that gold, and he said, "Well, what happened?" And he said, "Well, I mean, I was up there and I could have sworn this vein was the big deal, but obviously it wasn't. It just ran out." And so he gives him the money. He told him what he would give him, and I think it was like $100 or something.
I don't think the story
needs the actual details.
The story doesn't talk about that.
Yeah, actually it did in the movie. Anyway, it was some small amount of money. It was not a lot of money. It was something, but it wasn't much. And after the gentleman paid him the money, he said, "So, just out of curiosity, where was that place that you went?" And he said, "Oh, it was up in because he didn't care anymore, right? Up in the mountain, XYZ," and he gave him the coordinates of it. He said, "Okay, great." Well, this gentleman's last name was Darby. And Darby thought, you know what, I could go up there and do digging around like he did, and I'll end up in the same place.
Darby was the first miner.
Oh, Darby was the first miner.
The second.
What was his name? The second guy, I don't remember his name, sorry. But anyway, this other gentleman went and found a geologist and partnered up with this geologist. And the geologist went up there, found the vein that Darby had found, and started to look. And he said, "Well, you know, by my calculations here, that vein should be really close to this. He just went to the wrong portion of it, and we need to dig right here."
Right.
Long story short,
it was the shift.
That's
in
right.
Plates, right.
That's exactly right. It was
fault,
like an earthquake.
Fault line.
It was a semi fault line that shifted.
It was a fault line that shifts. So if you've seen those we're driving around the mountains, you'll see where you can see where the land shifted, right? So that was the case for that.
And because of that shift, it just moved it, and it actually moved it about 3 feet. Well, long story short, the geologist did find it, and this gentleman did, and it was the mother lode.
Right.
I mean, huge. What's pretty neat about it is Darby came back, actually, and he wasn't all furious and upset about it. He came back and said, well, I guess I should have persevered. Started an insurance company and kept from that lesson that he had where he didn't go the extra 3 feet, because it was only 3 feet away that the vein was.
Right.
He ended up creating an insurance company that was like 4th largest in the United States or something.
Yeah,
like that.
he did well in insurance, right? So there's a couple lessons in that story. The one is persistence or perseverance,
Right.
Right. To stay
Right. Don't
on
quit.
it, right? No.
It could be 3 feet away.
Right. The other lesson in this story is getting help, teaming up,
Absolutely.
team members, right? And so paying for someone that has the knowledge to help you out,
Right.
So that in business today, it's if you're an operational type guy, you got to team up with an accountant, a lawyer. You got to have people on your team,
Right.
in order for your business to thrive and keep kind of both strategically and defensively for the things that may come at your business, or if you're going out, a tactical way. So having the right people on your team is key, and that kind of story kind of says, don't go alone. Get some help.
Right.
Pay for the right information.
Well, I've got a question for you, Steve, and this is from left field. So you've heard how Darby did it. Have you ever had a 3 foot away experience in your life, or the opposite, where you did go and find somebody? And tell us a story about something in yours. I didn't tell him I was going to ask him.
He didn't tell me this, and so I'm not don't have one right at the top of my head.
That sounds like a scarcity mindset. I'm going to have you dig in and find that story. You've got to have something.
Well, I was digging in until you interrupted me. But what I'm going to do is, since you did bring that to me, I'm going to throw it back to you while I do some thinking about it. Because really, the 3 feet from gold, there's 2 stories there. One is the guy that missed the opportunity with the gold mine, and the other one that took the opportunity with the gold mine, right?
And you can have either one. So,
right. We've talked about my real estate deals, and
you told me about one that you didn't do that would have turned into something.
Well, I have many of those.
Okay. Many 3 foot from gold.
Many 3 feet from gold. So, but I think that the lesson that I would get out of this is to say yes more, right? Because a lot of times you do find those deals. I had one when I was first getting into real estate, townhouse. I was looking at it from a real estate agent perspective and not as an investor perspective.
Okay.
And
you were looking for the commission.
I was looking at one, I can't afford it, but how would I be able to sell this thing? I don't have a buyer.
I got you.
But if I had looked at it from an investor standpoint, I could have stepped in there. If I had training and knowledge about how to do investings in real estate, that could have been my first deal. And basically the family was a wealthy family in Arizona, and they bought this condo for one of their nephews who was going to school, and that nephew went a couple years and then bailed, so they had this townhouse that they didn't want, and they basically were paying all the closing costs. They just wanted to get rid of it, right? And I looked at it from, I can't afford that type of monthly payment, but I didn't think about that maybe there was someone else that could, or maybe a couple people could.
Okay.
And so that was an opportunity to pick up piece of property for 0 down and have it cash flowing. So I missed out on that opportunity. So, you know, in that case, I would have been a Darby because I did seek help. You know, there was plenty of people around me that I could have tapped into for that help.
Well, I can give one. This will be interesting for some of the audience out there probably as well. We had a software company, a couple of software companies, you know, and we needed to get our software to get to a certain point where it would work for a much broader audience than what we had right now. Our software was terrific, absolutely fantastic, and yet there were some limitations to it in terms of the various operating systems that it could work on. So for the longest time, we didn't quite get over that hump and get it to some of those other operating systems, but we did end up having an opportunity to sell our company. So we did sell the company, but if we had, now this is hindsight is 2020, but I think about if we had gotten it to the next level, there was another company that came into the space way after us that had the kind of things that we had but just couldn't get out to everybody, and they ended up selling their company to another company for about $108 million. So there was and I have to say it was a very Darby kind of thing because we kind of missed the shift that we should have done to get to that point, and at the same time we sold our company to a company that was really a great experience afterwards to grow in it. So I, like Darby, you know, had great success with this other company, and so all of us did. But I'm sure Darby looked back a few times and said, "Oh boy, if I'd have just gone 3 foot further, what I would have done." And so it's similar for me.
So another
for you.
Yeah, another lesson. You look at Darby, right? I mean, he missed one opportunity, but then he took another opportunity and ran with it.
That's exactly
right. So
right. He didn't quit in the end. He learned from it.
Well, his ultimate goal, right, to become a wealthy person, he didn't quit from that.
Right.
He changed the game plan when he realized that maybe he missed one opportunity, but it wasn't that. Just because you miss one opportunity doesn't mean it's the only opportunity.
Right.
There's always another opportunity. You just have to keep your eyes and ears open to what might be coming. And that's kind of getting into that lesson that I like to push out there is become more aware. So your awareness is a key part of that, right? To see opportunities when you're looking for that red Volkswagen.
Right. That kind of attraction. Also, I would submit, do not let your past define your future.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Very good.
Don't let the fact that you missed it define the possibilities that you can get afterwards, because you never know where those are going to go.
Yeah. Well, right. Steve, there was a lot in this one. I wasn't expecting there to be that many.
And the sun is going down, or we'd stay here longer. We've got a nice sunset over here happening, and pretty soon you won't be able to see us. So.
Right. So,
well, cheers, Steve. I guess we'll have to cheers.
We need to thank them for getting this far. So thank you for watching us.
Appreciate it.
Please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like, share, and add a comment or two. Especially if you had an experience on 3 Feet from Gold or learned a lesson or a takeaway from today's video. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, would be fantastic. You guys have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, let's do a fist bump.
Boom, baby.
Enjoy.